Good morning, you guys. So today is cleanup day, and the Lord has been talking to me nonstop. He's been reminding me of our visit in Pompeii, which was fabulous. I mean, a lot of people talk about going to Pompeii and how sad it is. It is sad, no doubt, but he was talking to me the whole time I was there. And the interesting thing is he was talking to me about what's to come. Remember, we keep talking about how we are in the last days. Do you believe we're in the last days? If you do, drop a comment below and let us know that you believe we are in the last days. Like, do you believe we're in the last seconds, last minutes of the last days? Because we sure do. And one of the things that he kept talking to me about as we're going through Pompeii, because a lot of stuff was being excavated, being dug up. And a lot of stuff that was being shown was actually plaster casted. So they pour the plaster cast down into the areas that they found. And that's how they find, who was down there. So you see a lot of things that look like the plaster cast of how they died during the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. And he was just talking to me nonstop about the unfortunate way that the people of Pompeii lived. They lived a lifestyle of great temporal wealth. Clearly, it was temporal. They were one of what most thought back then as the wealthiest cities. And they had tons of bakeries, tons of flatbread being cooked. So their pizza was going on nonstop. They were having a good old time. They were wealthy by most standards. But one of the things that he kept showing me as they were excavating things is literally their ceiling became an excavator's floor. Let that hit you. Let that sink in. Their ceiling became an excavator's floor. And I'm like, Lord, why are you showing me this? And he was like, where you're going from here on out, I want them to stop saying my ceiling is your floor. My ceiling is your floor. It is not the case. When you believe that these are the last days, and we are in the last days, we cannot be proclaiming that anymore and still expecting to run in unity, because generationally, we need to be unified, not just by tribe and tongue. We need to be unified, not just the church body, but generationally, we need to be unified. And so when we say, my ceiling is their floor, I want you to understand that he kept showing me that thinking got them excavated. And so he's wanting us to run alongside each other. He's wanting us in these last days, because if we waited any other thing, if we waited for our ceiling to be their floor, we would miss out too on what he's calling us to do, and they would be waiting for us to turn something over. We don't have time to do that anymore. We have to walk like Ruth and Naomi. We have to walk like Elijah and Elisha. Elisha knew that. He knew that was a very key thing to doing what he was called to do. He needed to humble himself and walk alongside a very distraught and confused and honestly frustrated as all get out Elijah, who had been let down 1,000,000 times before. But he humbled himself to serve alongside him, and in many ways serve with him. And so I just want to remind you that the Lord is not waiting for just mantles to be passed off. He's not waiting for their ceiling to be your floor. He's waiting for those who are humble to go low and serve alongside the ones who have also made such great strides in the ministry. So I hope this helps you guys. Don't just take my word for it. Pray into it. Ask the Holy Spirit if there's something to this. And remember, if you believe we're in the last days, then we have to run unified together and get this done. So love you guys.